Good morning, everyone. So this is a short video on the Innovator application. You first have to launch your Innovator. When you launch it, you're likely to either meet a model already opened. If you don't meet a model already opened, then you're likely to meet this page, which is the start page. Okay, let's assume that you meet an application opened. Once an application is opened, you can just come here to the start page. Please follow my mouse, my cursor, start page. Then there are the other, model that you've created over here. But then we are going to create a new model. So create a new model, then you name it depending on the name you want. But we are going to handle what we did in class. So we have it as was a job application. So we have job application model. So let me make it trial. Okay. So once it opens, you're going to have this interface. In order to have a big screen to work with, you can auto hide all these things. So auto hide, then also auto hide the pen over here. You can see auto hide. So you auto hide this too. Then also this. Then you can have the whole screen, the entire screen for yourself. You would realize that nothing is selected over here. Okay, you can't select anything because you've not selected the model. So if you want these things to now turn black and accessible, just click anywhere on the model. Click anywhere around here. The model now opens. The model now, so now it opens. So you can come here, then we go to what? New Bpmn diagram. That's what we are dealing with, which is business process model and notation diagram. That's what we are handling in class right now. So you click on it. It opens it for you this way. The main model is job application. So we are going to do OK. Automatically, this turns to blue. This opens but turns to blue. Then you can edit it to, as is. That means the current process, what is being done. As is. As is. That means the current or the status quo, what actually happens now. What are the processes? The current or the existing processes. So job application. Then once you are done with this, you probably can add another one by going to start and then you add the to be over here or whichever way you want to get the to be. But let's focus on this because this is what you're doing. Once you have this, if you, unfortunately for you, you still had the Bpmn showing like this. If you have it showing like this, and unfortunately yours is no more blue, you can still change it by right clicking, by coming here and double clicking. It turns to blue. Then you can edit. So again, I name it edit. So edit it to as is. And job application. That's the current process. Entry, okay. Because I've already created it over here, access. That's why it's not giving me the opportunity to. So I should just, you may not understand, but it is what it is. Okay. So you just forget about everything. Let's just focus on this. So when you do it, you have access. So I've created two. So this I will name as to be. So to be, that's when I modify it with the MIS. When I introduce information systems into the model, what I'm likely to have. So job application. So I have two, but now I'm going to work within here. After working within here, I can just copy the model from here to this place. Then I modify it over here, add some IT infrastructure to the whole system, and then, kind of optimize it with IT infrastructure. So let's start from assets. That's the current state of affairs. So in class, I'm going to use the job application we did in class. You have here as collaboration. If you want to see it in bigger interface, you can just click on the drop down. Then you have it here. You can see it here. So it's the same things that are here. What you can see over here, these things are the same things that when you drop down, you see. You see most of them there. But if you are done with this, creating the as-is job application, and you realize that this thing didn't show, then maybe you had clicked here, 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 or there. But you can find all those elements for the design over here. That's why it's called design. So what you need to design are all here. These are the elements. So we have a whole lot. We have the event, we have the task, we have the gateway, participant, and all have you, the message event, the time event or date event. I mean, a whole lot. So you can access it as and when you want them. So let's have the drop down. We have 2 participants in this particular collaboration. So the collaboration creates new collaboration with 2 initial participants. So you can click on this, left click, then you drag, come and put it where you think you're comfortable working. So me, I'm choosing to put it here. After dropping it, I can just zoom in and out. I can move it around. If you want to really move it around, then you click outside that design you dropped. You clicked outside the entire model over here. Then you bring it here. Once this thing is highlighted, you can move it around. Look, see, I can move it anywhere I want to move it. Once it has highlighted the whole thing, you can even use your cursor, your arrow keys. Then right now I'm using my arrow key to move it around. Up, down, anywhere I want to move it to. Once it is selected, I can use my arrow key to move it around. Okay, so I click outside. Let's assume that you want to add a 3rd participant because yours involves a collaboration between 3 participants. I'm going to zoom out, reposition this over here, and then open up this to make room for the 3rd participant. You see that the collaboration has opened to be wider. Then I can bring a participant. There's a participant. So you look at the drop down here, participant. You left click and hold. Then also you drag it and come and place it in here. Yes. So bring it also here. Is it the same size? Yes. Okay. So I can close it. Can close this. Okay. Okay. So we have participant 1, participant 2, and participant 3. That's my mouse. Wait, my battery no one. Okay, so I have participants 1, 2, and 3. Now I come to collaboration. So there are 2 ways of renaming it. Either I come here and when it is selected, I double click and then name a job application. Or the second approach, let's say there's the applicant. So I right click. You see, I click outside the model. I come here once it's highlighted and the participants 1 pops up. I know that's what I've selected. I right click, then rename. Then I call this application process. The application process or the applicant's process. So you can say applicant or let's say application process or application. Okay. And then we have this as what? The recruiting process. So I click outside again, come here. Participant 2 is highlighted. So I right click, then rename. Then I have recruiting process. But in this particular process, maybe we don't need a 3rd participant. So I'll just delete it from here. But I was only showing you how to add a 3rd participant, but we don't need it over here. So I'll just, so if you want to delete something, click on that. Once it's highlighted this way, you right click, then you delete. See, only that one is showing here. So yes, delete. Delete. If you make a mistake of highlighting more than one and you go to delete, this is what you're going to see. It means you are deleting everything over here. Okay, so do not select everything. Just select what exactly you want. So I can now close my collaboration or the job application. I can now close it, shrink it to just this. Okay, having done that, I can just move this one to the middle a bit, then extend it. Extend it. Can extend this one too, as long as I want it. And this too. Okay. So I have these two lanes. Now, this is called a lane. This is also called a lane. So I have two lanes because I have only two participants. I showed you how to add a third participant. So the next thing to do is to start the whole process. So I start the process with this. Now, this is an event. So event to show that we are starting the process. So we start. Oh, so I made a mistake with this. So if I want to rename it, quite simple. I come, you see, I clicked outside. I come, once it highlights it, I double click. Then I can see, I can rename it. Oh, please. Okay. If it is not working, not to worry. When you bring it here, just right click. You have rename. Maybe my mouse is misbehaving this morning. So we have start. Now, once the sites are selected, you can move it around. Okay, using your arrow key, the top, down, forward, all those. You can move it around. Okay, once it's highlighted or you select it and it's highlighted, you can move it around. So let's say start. We are starting the process. Once you start, the first thing is to create the application. So we are going to create our application. Now, there is this sequence flow, there is this message flow. You only engage the sequence flow when you are staying within one lane. There is a lane. When you are staying within the lane, any process you are going to execute or event or anything you are going to execute within one lane, you use the sequence flow. If you are going to move for that particular event or application activity is going to take you to another lane, which is the recruiting process lane, then you have to engage the message flow. So with the start, we are creating or writing our application. If you are writing or creating the application, you are definitely staying within this flow. That means it's still the applicant executing that process. So you use the sequence flow. The sequence flow gives you this. Now you have the option to choose between event, task, gateway, and sub process. Event, you engage the event when it is just a thought, sort of a thought, something you intend to do. You engage the event. If it is something which is an activity that you have to execute, then a task is engaged. Mind you, anytime you are putting there, you'll be like, oh, I've not completed my task. It means it's an activity you are carrying out. It's an action you are performing. So sort of a verb, like an action that you are carrying out. That's a task. But whenever it is not an action, but it's just something you are bringing on board, like something you are thinking about, a thought, or something you intend to do, but it's not you carrying out the activity itself, then please engage the event. If not, engage the task. The gateway is when you have multiple decisions to make, whether it is a yes or no decision. Like whenever you have a decision to make, which is a two-way decision, a three-way, or a four-way. Okay, well, it may not necessarily be a four-way because there will be something coming in. So it's only gives you an option to, make a decision on three or a three-way decision. That's when you engage the gateway. With a sub process, from my understanding, maybe you want to just put some kind of some processes you have to undertake under that main process. Then you may engage the sub process. But now we said we are creating an application, so it will be a task. So task. Then with the task, you name it as a create application. So it is not properly arranged in there. So since the sites, once it shows this way, it means the sites are engaged. So again, you can move it around anywhere you want to keep it. You can keep it anywhere, but I wish to keep it here. So I maintain it there. But this allows me to be able to drag or open it so that the words in there, the content can arrange properly. Yes. So it can look good. So I have it as such, create application. Is it not looking nice? Now let's move on. Create application. After creating the application, what are you supposed to do? When you're writing, you are applying for a job, you create the application, or you write the application if you like. If create application doesn't sound well with you, sound well for you, just use create application. Then you have a sequence flow. Now again, I'm going to remind you, I said you use the sequence flow when you are staying within one lane. As soon as you want to move into another lane, you have to engage the message flow. So sequence flow to create. So let's create. We are creating a task because we are going to submit the application. So submit application. Submit application. Again, it is not properly arranged. So we can just open it up. Yes. Then we have it this way. After you've submitted the application, what happens? You have to submit. You have to what do you call it? Take it to the recruiter. So here you left click again. You have it here. If you already have something selected like this, and you come and select this, it won't work. You see, now both are selected, but you see that you are not getting the various flows. So in that case, whenever you want to move on, please do what to always click outside. So you deselect everything inside so it doesn't interfere. Then we have it here. You see that now the flows are showing. We are moving to this flow. So it means that after you submit the application, the recruiter receives a message, okay, for them to review or something, or a letter, your application letter. So let's engage the message event. Yes. So we have the message event. We have the message event. Okay, so this one, let me take this thing. The recruiting process. Man, I attempting too much. Let me just recruiter. Let me just make it recruiting process and a what so recruiting. Yeah. So recruiting. Then maybe the 75, recruiting 75 here. You can do that. So that's it. Now you submit application. So once you submit it, a message will be received. So you can rename this as received application. So received application. You can also move. You can always move this thing. Application. No. So once you make a mistake, you can always rename. So received application. Received application. But once you're done, you can even move this thing. You can move it anywhere you want it. You can just move it a better way. So anywhere. You can move it around. Okay. So I haven't said that. Now I mentioned earlier that when you're submitting the application, you have to use a message flow once you are moving to another lane. So this you use the message flow to connect to this. Now, Dr. Winnie mentioned that he doesn't want these diagonal lines. So you just have to make sure you are getting some 90s and some horizontal and then vertical lines only. So let's see, I can bring this here and then take this one also here. Right, so, okay, so I have this. Once the recruiting agency receives the application, and then on the application, application. Yes, good. So received the application. Then the next stage is going to be that they have to review it, right? So let's review. And once we are in one lane, we engage the sequence flow. Then you have a task because we are going to carry out an activity. So we have review application. After reviewing the application, let's see. Review application. You open it up. If you really are following, I'm sure you understand what you've done so far. After reviewing the application, then you'd have to know whether you have accepted them or you haven't accepted them because you are reviewing it. So let's review. Then once you review, there is a two-way decision to make, whether you are accepting them or not. And I mentioned earlier that the gateway gives you the option to make decisions, more than one decision. Okay, so we engage the gateway. Then we ask a question on the gateway that rejected. If you use rejected, then you know what answer to give to each of the outputs. If you say accepted, if you choose to use accepted. If the person is accepted here, yes, then the flow continues. No, then you have to give them a feedback. Rejected, no, then you continue. Yes, then you give them a feedback. Okay. It appears as if the space over here may be small. So what I'll do is you can just select this, select that, and select this, and use the down key to move it down. Up, down. The things I want to move down, moves down. I think this place is fine. Okay. So it creates some sort of space over here. Then the next thing would be, so here, I said accepted. If the person is accepted, yes, then I'll schedule the person for interview. So task again, the schedule for interview. Schedule for interview. On what grounds did we schedule the person for interview? It's because the person passed. Okay, so this one, it's not aligning. You can see that the arrow is not at the middle of this thing. So I'll just move it a bit up and then we have it. I click outside. I can condition this flow, this sequence flow, because you said we should accept it. The person is accepted. So you go to properties. Okay, let me take it again. If you want to condition the flow, as in sort of name it, then just bring your cursor to it. When it turns blue, you right click. Then you have properties. Then you condition it. So accepted, yes. The person is accepted. That's why we've scheduled the person for interview. After that, you can even come and click on yes and move it around. Maybe you want it to come down here instead of the top, or you want it to be very close to the line. Me, I'm bringing it down here. So I brought it down. Again, I click here, bring it here. Once it's selected, and you can see that the yes has, popped up. I just click on it. You see, now the outline the outline has been highlighted, so I can move it anywhere I want to move it to, but I need it here to show that yes, the person has been accepted. So then you click outside again, you are good. If the person is not accepted, what happens? So it's either you use rejected or accepted, but like I'm saying, if you use rejected, then the answer over here that I've made yes will be no, because the person wasn't rejected, so he will be scheduled for interview. If the person is rejected yes, then you have to give the person a feedback. So those who are not accepted, we open an event. Now, the reason why we are opening an event, in my opinion, that we are not connecting this directly to the top over here is because a gateway does not give you the option to engage a message flow. A gateway only gives you an option to engage a sequence flow. So in that case, we engage the sequence flow to open an event. I mean, an event is just a thought or like something that has happened. Like it's not an activity. Once it's not an activity, any other thing you can make it an event. So an event, and then I'm going to name the event rejected. Just say, yeah, rejected. Yes, good. Now the outlines are engaged, so I can move it around. You can use the mouse anyways. You can move it anywhere you want it to be. Anywhere you want it to be, you can move it there. I want it to be here, so I'm bringing it here. Having brought it there, I can now condition my flow, which is I right click, I go to properties, then I name it no. It means or no, the no, so no. Okay. So the no and the rejected are all together. So I just come and click on the no, then I move it to the side so that it isolates itself from the rejected. Quite simple. Now I have rejected over here. Means now I have the ability to engage a message flow to the top. All right. Meaning I'm giving the rejected message to the one who is here. So after the application is submitted, let's open a gateway. When I open it, doesn't come because this thing is selected, as I mentioned earlier. So I click outside to deselect. I click here now. I have the ability to, proceed. Then let's go straight to here. Then I open a gateway because, mind you, the same applicant is the person we are talking about. The condition is if the person is rejected, the person should receive a message. If the person is not rejected, then the person has to keep waiting for a response. That's why we've opened the gateway. It's a two-way decision. So this gateway, the person is shortlisted. Okay. So let's move. I want us to move the shortlisted up to the top so it doesn't, interfere with what we are doing. Shortlisted question up there. Then now, here, let's engage no. If the person is a no, what message is the person going to receive? So, okay, so let's have it here. Let's bring a message, as in a rejection message to the person. Let me drop it somewhere here so that it doesn't go into my, so rejection message, rejection message, rejection message. Rejection message, I click outside and they'll choose to move this thing up so that it can be clear, provided it will even fit in here. Well, if that's the case, let me try and then keep it down here too and see. Rejection message. Once you have a rejection message, rejected, Papa rejected, will be connected to this. But as I mentioned earlier, if you are moving from one lane to another lane, if you are moving from the recruiting process to the application process, then I have to engage a message flow. So a message flow to this. And we are there. So I may even choose to just, instead of having to do anything, just click on this, move it a bit over here. move it over here, and then rather let me see what I can do. Okay, let me also move this one. I mean, arrange it in a way that you feel like you'll be okay with it. Okay, so engage this thing. So there's a message, just so I don't have diagonal lines as Dr. Wumi doesn't want that. Then I can rather move my message a better way. Okay, so this is so the person who is rejected. So that means I have to now connect this. Now I want to move this whole thing a bit up so that I can do that. So I press this. Once it's selected, I press and hold my control key on the keyboard. I click on this, and I click on that. Then I just go up, press the up, 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 up. See, I've moved it a bit away from these. I mean, I'm creating space for myself, actually. So shortlisted. If indeed the person has been shortlisted, then the person will proceed. But no, this person wasn't shortlisted. Yapamono, yampano. So I bring it here. I connect it using the sequence flow. Then once this is selected, I right click to condition it as no. No. Then, as I mentioned, you can always move these things around. Let me bring it here. No. So once it's not short, the step, that's it. The person is shortlisted, then obviously the person would have to receive a message that he's been scheduled for an interview. So let's schedule an interview, right? Schedule for interview or schedule interview. And anything. Schedule. So the schedule interview. Then the interview will require a date and time, not so. So I bring the date, the timer event, just a time that one by the slot never more before. So I drop this here. That's the time event. That's the date. You can say date for interview, date and time, date and time, date and time for interview. Because so many data, now the time account. Maybe I'm a time into my man time. So, like I said, I came to click here, but the flows are not showing simply because I've still selected this. So I have to deselect everything. And now click on this. Not a message flow, but a sequence flow because we are working within the same lane. Then you have it at good. Now, once you have a date, you can even bring the date here and then connect directly to this, please. But once we have this, then you have to send the person a message. And the message will come as an interview letter, right? So we prepare an interview letter. Prepare an interview letter and send to the person. So a task. So prepare interview letter, or you can even say send interview letter, because if you prepare, you have to send. So what the emphasis say send, so it doesn't become cumbersome. The process is end also. So send interview letter or invitation letter. What do you send? Okay, invitation letter. Send invitation letter. You are sending it. Oh, I'll call you Push down simply because of this guy. This guy has made them all push down. But think your mom or down. But not to worry. Not to worry. This thing has messed up my whole so let me just undo, 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 undo. Yeah, so that I rather move this one a bit to the top. Doesn't mess my things up, but equally I think ordinarily inserting it actually messed everything up in the first place. So once it leave, simple leave, you leave, you don't want to leave. Eh? Leave my model to you, not leave. As if it is yours. no problem. If it says it will not leave, there is always a way around it. We select this. Let's move it here. And then rather try and then arrange these things properly. Let's just bring this down a bit. Okay, so let me open it up. Please be following because open it too much over here. So let's just open this one a bit. So having opened it, I can now move it a bit down to align. I know my way now effort. Yeah. Okay, so now it's fine. So now let's send the person and send invitation letter. Invitation letter. Okay. Then we have this. Send invitation letter. Then we move it. Great. It's looking good. So now you have to send the invitation letter. So here a message has come here as the invitation letter. So let's bring the letter to our people. Oh, so let's see. Okay. So let's bring it here. Invitation letter comes in. Yes, the invitation letter received. So received received invitation letter. Received invitation. The received invitation letter is here. Okay. So I don't want it to be within the diagram and then the interference. So I'm taking it up here. Yeah. Okay. So the one who was shortlisted, yes, will receive his letter. Then it's already highlighted, but we condition this. Properties. Then okay, so it has come this way because look, instead of selecting the message, this flow and the sequence flow have look when you look here, I've selected the whole of the lane one. That's why it has come this way. So let's click here. We could have named that process over there and then named it lane one and then here lane two. But let's proceed. So I come here, rather find this. Yeah, and then properties. Yes, the one who qualified. The one who was shortlisted. Yes. And then let's bring the yes down here somewhere. Okay. So the person received the received invitation letter is this one. So yes, send invitation. Applicant receives his invitation. Message flow. Yes, you're in business. Now this one looks like it is not well properly aligned. So I can click on this, move it a bit to the right, and we are in business. So now the next thing is that probably after receiving the invitation letter, the person wants to review whether he would come or not. Maybe a salary minister into on pay. We cry invitation letter until the end do baby could be cast on pan or pen. But once the person receives the invitation letter, he may choose whether or not he will come. So we come here, then we engage the task. Once we engage the task, I have a feeling when I introduce a task, it will move this thing. So let me just open it up and be free. So it doesn't come and then disturb me. Okay. So now let's click outside. We have received invitation letter. He has to review whether or not he will go for the interview. So that becomes a task because it's an activity. So a review letter. Can choose to accept to come or it won't come. So review letter. By reviewing the letter, then there will be a gateway. Whether he's going to accept or he won't accept to come. So our boy will open a gateway to make a decision after reviewing. So, does he accept or reject? So let's say accept. Has he accepted? If he accepts, let's move accept to somewhere here. Yeah, you can see keep track of it. So accept. If you didn't accept, then of course you would reject it. Huh? So we are only opening an event because this gateways do not give you the opportunity to move into another lane. All right. You see over here, when I click on this, I only have access to a sequence flow and not a message flow. So I can't move into the other lane. So I first would create a message flow in here. What do you call it? An event in here. Event. Probably name the event reject. He rejects it. So he has rejected or rejected. He has rejected the offer to come for an interview. Then again, I click on this. I move it away from the lines. So rejected. You all know this rejected. So if he has rejected, we presume that he's going to send a message to the guys down here. But I don't know. So let's do something here. Let's try and then open this thing to up. Let's open it up. Let's open it up. Okay. And then bring them a bit down because I feel like they are all up here. Okay, so these are this. We select this thing. And then now. Okay. So it's because I've already selected the whole thing, the whole lane without deselecting. So let me deselect. And then now I can move my people. Let my people go. So you see, that I get down. Drag it a bit down. Okay, so having sent the invitation, you would also be expecting something, a feedback. All right. So because you need to schedule an interview after sending this. So let's say ordinarily there could have been just a message from them to this place, which connects to this. But we can also employ what do you call it, engage this. So this you would have to schedule an interview, presumably. We are scheduling an interview. So let's schedule. So we've scheduled the interview. So this should be the interview day. So you carry out an interview over here. Okay. So if you are going to schedule an interview, the person who has been rejected or boy says, I'll tell you that I'm not interested. So he'll send you a message. Like I said, the same way the message came in here, but we had the gateway and all that. We could have had same so that the rejected person will bring a message here. Okay, there'll be a message here, then you open a gateway here. Then the no person will come here, bring you the message here. Then The one who accepted will also accept his by bringing it to the gateway. But we are making things simpler here by just introducing those who are rejecting the offer. Come and drop it in here. Once you want to drop it here, you see that it turns blue. Look, it's black. But once you are dropping it in here, as soon as it turns, the line turns blue, it means that you can drop. So you drop it in here. And then this is what rejection message. So this one is a rejection of interview invitation. Like rejection letter. Why reject it? Interview invitation or reject it. Once you trace it, you know what he's rejecting. But that's it. Rejection letter for the interview. Then now, there's the person giving the message to this. I don't know the way because who is receiving that rejection letter? It is the employer. Sisi almost sure almost say also power to reject you. So also see on more campaign, you know. Once that's a chair. But and say, hey, you just can come and click on this, just move it. Voila, the lines. Let's go to the next one. We have it here as so we have this. Am I still recording? Okay. So we have the rejection letter. And then you also accept it. Also send the letter. But say indeed we accept it. So can keep it in line. So can also say yes, I accept. So task. Submit feedback of so submit. So I mean ordinarily, this is the person who has accepted will submit a feedback. Is that the case? Yes. So I didn't condition this, but this is the new person. The person who didn't, but this one will also accept. So this one, ordinarily, I could have just said, so they accepted, just as the rejected person came here. This one could have also been an event where accepted. So he also sends a message to these folks. All right. So, but then we submit feedback. Ordinarily, I could have also done this. So accept, no, accept, no. So this, okay, so let's make it better. Accept. If accept, you didn't accept that. You didn't accept. Accept. So I condition. Accept, no. One accept it. One accept, yeah. This one, I'm deleting it. But rather, it will be, I want to make it a task of submitting a feedback. I think to me, that one would sound better. So delete. Yes. In that case, this, that's right. I didn't continue. I need to do it again. So I'd rather create a task of submit feedback since you didn't accept it. So let's go here. Let's check it. Submit feedback. Submit feedback. Submit feedback so that I have the opportunity to use the message flow and then connect to the young man over here. Rejection letter. So submit or send rejection, send a feedback, someone accepted. So yeah, we didn't accept it. So I have to condition this. I need to condition this as no, the one who didn't accept. No. Right. Oh, now I can select and then move it. Then this one, I'll condition as yes. Yes. Hey, my boy and towel. What's on here? Okay. Okay. So that's it. So I can bring it a bit to the side. Then let me move the accepted. Just make it, arrange it in a way that you think is going to be good. So new task. This one, the person who has accepted to come for the interview. When you double click, so you submit. The person also has to submit feedback, right? So submit feedback. Oh, my mouse. Submit feedback. So the person will also send a message. Ta-da. There we are there. So also a message flow will have to connect this to this. Submit feedback. Hmm. Hmm. So after submitting the feedback, obviously, I'll say yes or back. And then the person has to attend the interview. So, attend interview. Attend interview. Ah, so attend interview. Let's open it up a bit so that W in the other join. Attend interview. You can just push it this one a bit forward so that you use a straight line to connect the two. Home fairness and so now there now we are what tilted and to get vertical and horizontal lines only, and that's fine. So the person has to attend interview. Attend. So after attending the interview, you have this for which he added a, a data bank, kind of a data association. Maybe you have some data to keep for the questions, the questions and all that. Maybe when you see data object. So we used data. Yes, I want to take you. Go. Oh, data. Data store. Okay. Data store reference. I mean, so that's questions, questions, question bank. But I will add the person's CV. And you ask the person about things on his CV and all that. Those are so like data. I mean, they be a bit more bizarre questions in every year and all that. So let's just move it here. We also make sure that we can also, since he doesn't want diagonals, we will not give him diagonals. And, you know, that's right. So question bank, CV, all the places we can ask questions from. We do that. So now we have to review the interview after everything. Yeah, so after the interview, you have to make a decision. When you review the interview or the results, like what do? Review uh, interview performance. Uh, Wait, I'll come into the video review. Okay. All right, so we have it as a review the interview performance. Then you have to make a decision. Have to make an offer, right? So you make a decision. A decision. Let's make a decision. Let's make a decision. Whether the person has qualified or not. So each way. So make an offer. Or what do you do? Make an offer. Or not can make an offer, but we make accepted. Okay, you make an offer. It's an offer. So you let's maintain make an offer. Then you can move it around, so move it away from. So make an offer. When you make an offer, in making an offer, you'd have to reject someone. And then it's all reject you. And you know, you one passing interview, you're more on the feedback. So you give that person a feedback of you are rejected. Okay. Not qualified. They're not qualified or rejected. Or they are rejected. Okay. So yeah, maybe they come in the end you are rejected. So we can just move this one to away from the person is rejected. After rejection, you have to give the person a message. So ordinarily over here too, we should open a gateway waiting to receive certain things anyways. Because there will be a message, two messages. There should be a message from here to this person, telling the person that you are rejected. So why you are rejected on your message. Simple. You pick a message. Rejection. Field interview. So rejection message. Okay. So then someone may rejected. Rejected. Okay, then. Okay, now. Space in my car and then so why don't we just stretch it? Maybe, yeah, just maybe. No, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see. Gonna see. Yeah, rejected applicant to bring on a message. So when are they? Yeah, let's introduce the gateway. Wait, have I selected anything on my mouse? Wait, so let's put the gateway here. The gateway. So receive feedback. You are waiting for your feedback. Receive feedback. Okay. So align here. Take this, receive feedback. Oh, select. and see feedback. Then connect this to this. No form on the geometry. Yeah, now just say just condition this. You know, just condition you to no. Yeah, so where you have to make only two decisions, let me bring you back. This exclusive. The rest, I wasn't able to join the other class, so how to engage the other ones, I don't know. For me, I'm making all of them exclusive, but I know he gave other. So where the gateways are, maybe a yes or no, maybe yes or no, maybe I'm a man exclusive gateway. I we changed it, but I mean, I don't know why he did that. So because I mean, I told you I had network issues, so I couldn't really join the class. Parallel, well, okay. Gateway, event based, parallel. Some event based exclusive, event based exclusive. Hmm. Okay. Okay, anyway. Okay. So this one, maybe he made it event based exclusive because when you are receiving the feedback will be a letter. So, okay. So over here, the one who has qualified will definitely receive, you send the person a letter. So send back to the person. Once you are sending offer to the person, this one, yeah, a triangle. The meaning to it is out. One coffee shop. Go and look for your turn. Event based exclusive. I don't know why. Yeah, so send an offer. When you send the offer, of course, the one who qualified over here is the one to receive it. So, ordinarily, I could have just gone to review offer. Then I just do this, put the message on top of the, but I mean, it doesn't, and say, hey, legal power between get a piece now. Okay, so over here, I send it straight to where the person would have to review the offer, whether he likes it or not. So task, review offer, whether he likes it or not. He wants to work with your organization or he doesn't want to work with the organization. The onus is on the person to decide. So the sheets may ask. So let me open it up a bit. So next time that didn't show. Okay. So offer, review offer, and feedback. So I'll just move this one a bit forward and then put a message on it. Put the message on this thing. Oh, select. Hey, should I so send the person the offer. Yeah. Yes. Received the offer. Received offer. So, okay. Pick this one up. See, see the offer. So then you send them a message flow because you're moving to another link. That's it. Because okay, we need to condition this. So let's just move a bit forward. Move this one to a bit forward so that we can condition this as yes, the person. We are making the offer, so yes. And then we won't make this guy an offer, so no. So no. So after this session, I'll do how to save it and all that. Save it and then how to convert it to PDF and all that. I'll do it. How to color them and all that. I'll also handle that. As for the animation bit, you don't need it for the eye because you are going to only present it in a PDF form. So the animating the process, the rejection and all that. I really couldn't pay attention, but I just could go over for you to know. But here for now, we need it for the IE. So to send offer. After you send the offer, I think yeah, sure. Send offer. Person will also review the offer and may choose to send you a message too. So okay. So you review offer. So let's bring the review offer. Review offer. Review offer. Ordinary. No, let's keep it here. Let's keep it here. Maybe. And then move on to where he also has to make a decision because he also has to make a decision. So that was a good thing. Okay, okay. Very nice. Does he accept? So offer accepted. Accepted. So yes or no. So if he reviews and he hasn't accepted, he has to give him quite a feedback. Yeah. So we got yeah. Okay. Okay, that's when he introduced the event based because he didn't take an action, he just sent the rejection of okay. So my ordinary report you would receive no during pay how I understand and know how the lecture did it. So if offer is we would have to send them a message. So uh, I don't want to use other gateways. I just want my normal gateway that I'm familiar with. So in that case, a task. Eesh. I say I'm right one. Mhm. Yeah. No. Move this one down. Open this one up. Open this one up. This one up. Okay. Good. So, offer accepted. No. Good answer. The accepted. No. So, if no, then send decline letter to decline offer or send decline any mess you are. Yes. So doing it by how I understand it and how not exactly so means there will be a message to be received over here. Send a message to them that okay. So you have to send a message. So if you receive a message about here, then from page man, some information. So send a message. Okay. And then that's all you on page one. So your mom information. So decline. Salary name 200. So in that case, after sending, they will also be waiting. Then they should have a gateway here. Gateway, you know. So, so back, accepted. We also on pair of finance. More young, more offer better than final. Offer accepted. Okay, can't read it. So let me keep it here instead. Offer declined. And the offer accepted, and or did they accept the offer? No, no, they didn't accept. No, no, no. And then yes, the payment. Yes, no. The person accept. Yes. Which means at the yes point, at the yes point, the person has accepted. So we need to bring the one who has accepted. Okay. I'm also doing a message. But so the one who has accepted. Okay, so let's name this no, 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 so on page man. Informal Juma. Accepted, no, informal Juma. I'm fine. Then you can make this one. No, Then the one who has accepted would have to send acceptance. Thanks. Hey, we can't use an example. For this person, here we submit, acceptance. So accept. So you accept. Once you accept, say yes, say yes, yes, yeah, one, yes. Submit acceptance, yes. Mm. So after submitting the acceptance, what happens? You have to send a message to these guys. So send a message, send a message. But they're not really sending a message. I can even bring a message here. Yeah? I don't need to worry my head 15 any other thing here. I'll say yes. You don't need to bring the message there before anything. I'll just bring it there. You know, let me try that one. Hey, okay. Oh, yes. Hmm. The person has accepted, submit acceptance, so it's a message that is going to come in. When it is blue, I drop, I drop, so acceptance. I could have just choose to bring it somewhere to just connect with this. You understand? But I could have just got the but I'm choosing to put it on note. It's all about how you understand the whole thing. So submit acceptance. Both could have come onto the line anyways. But so message flow connection to this message flow. Okay. So how to apply. Yeah, that's you. You keep my top but finance I'm not sure. So you go take on like that. So yes, the acceptance number. Simple as ABC. So if so, then for the acceptance of what they are not tested, review acceptance letter and then hide. Okay. Let's also review acceptance letter and hide the person. Review, review acceptance letter. So reviewing acceptance letter, you hire. Mm, Hire the person. Let me hire the person. Don't push things. Don't push things around forever. You're ready for any pushing of things around. Applicants. So if you hire the applicants, the process will end. Then end the process. I'm with you. Then submitting the application. Obviously, no, ordinarily, if you hire the person, you are supposed to. Okay. Well, acceptance. Once someone accepts, you don't get back to the person. The person only has to start on the date. So yes, person can start the job. Start job that you are tortured by ever or whatever you wanted to be. Then we can end our process to humanist end process of end process. And that's it. So like I said, with the various gateways, I don't really understand certain things, how he actually settled on other gateways. But as for me, I'm using what do you call it? I'm using exclusive one. You can use how you understood it in class. And so there may be another time when I finally get his video and then I watch it, then I can now understand why he introduced those other gateways. But for now, I'm introducing the exclusive ones, which is a two decision point. Only those two decisions. So he mentioned that you should have at least 4 gateways over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 good gateways. So that will be all for this particular model. Okay. So all you can do is this as is. If you want the to be, just click outside. As you have the entire model, click on this one, copy, or right click, copy. Go to be, click on to be. You were at access. Now click on to be. Paste it here. Some of paste it down. Paste it here. No, now I have it here too. I have it here. Then I can work here. So now we can now modify. You can now also come and then choose to modify this thing. Modify it. You can now choose to modify it and introduce some IT infrastructure and all that into it. So if you like Campo at the first model now, I don't bring anything like this. Data storage and all that. The next one will introduce data storage and other things to make the system conform with IT infrastructure. Yeah. Introduce IT into it and then just optimize the process. Maybe I'll hear cumbersome. No, just use one IT process to just, that's how I understand it. Okay. So my next session, I don't want to make it one video so it becomes too big. But then let's assume, okay, maybe we can just do it in here and then be free. So you can choose to colorize. Yeah. Colorize. So maybe choose to make this one the bigger picture. All right. Let's see. Okay. I want to make it blue. So let's go with the shades of blue. So I haven't selected that. Let's come here. I don't see anything. A bit of inside. Here for command the same thing. Oh, don't want that one. Means one colorize. Yeah. Up the internal one. So now I can choose to make this or the task. Every task in there. Every task. I mean, you may choose to make every task in there. Task, every task, every task. Have I selected what task? I'm alone here. Why am I even asking? Then let's go and then okay, let's come here. Let's use these sheets. These sheets. So maybe this one can take this. And then effect. What about this? No crossing effect. What about that? Yeah, something like this is not bad. So I mean, explore. Let me just end it here. And if you have any questions, you can ask me.